With the power to devastate an entire continent, they are 175 meters long, 23 meters wide, 12 meters in height, and with a submerged displacement of 48,000 tons, making them by far the largest subs ever built. This is the Typhoon Class Submarine. The Typhoon Class submarines are nuclear-powered ballistic missile subs operated by the Soviet and Russian Navy. Typhoons were powered by two OK-650 water reactors fueled by 20 to 45% enriched uranium-235. It was paired with two 50,000 horsepower steam turbines and four 3,200 kilowatt turbogenerators, giving the Typhoon class submarine a maximum speed of 22 knots or 40 kilometers an hour on the surface and 27 knots or 50 kilometers an hour submerged. It has a complement of 160 crew members with an endurance of over 120 days submerged and tested to a depth of 900 meters. There are no less than 20 missile silos forward of the midship sail or conning tower, giving it that very distinctive appearance. It even sports a gym, sauna, a pool, and even an aviary. The Typhoon is a multi-hull design with 5 hulls placed inside a superstructure, giving it a total of 19 compartments. There are 2 hulls running the length of the sub with 3 smaller hulls for the torpedo room, the control room and the rudder machinery, all of which are placed inside of a superstructure coated with sound-absorbent tiles. There is 1 reactor and 1 turbine in each of the main hulls, which enables the Typhoon to continue operating should the other main hull be compromised. But the dual hull configuration of the Typhoon was to allow for the 20 missile silos and SSN-20 Sturgeon ballistic missiles, but we'll discuss that in a moment. It's equipped with a series of retractable systems, 2 periscopes, a radio sextant with radar, navigation and direction finding masts. The submarine has both radio and satellite communication systems and is fitted with 2 floating antenna buoys, enabling it to receive radio signals, satellite navigation signals, and target designation data, all whilst remaining covert at depth or under sea ice. Just below the torpedo room is a search and attack type active-passive sonar and also has IJ band surface target detection radar. The torpedo room is situated in the upper part of the bow and in between the 2 main hulls. It has 4 630mm torpedo tubes and 2 533mm torpedo tubes with a total of 22 anti-submarine missiles and assorted torpedoes. The torpedo tubes can also be used to deploy mines, but this is mainly for self-defense, as its main purpose is the launch of nuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles. And for this, it is equipped with 20 RSM-52 or SSN-20 NATO designation Sturgeon intercontinental ballistic missiles. Each missile weighs 84 tons and are 60 meters long and 2.4 meters wide, and it was partly for this reason that the Typhoon class needed to be as large as it was. They can be launched from a depth of 40 to 50 meters and have a range of 8,300 kilometers or 5,200 miles with a full payload. So potentially it could strike the United States without ever leaving Polyarny. Each missile can have a payload of up to 10 multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, or MIRVs, per missile, and each MIRV has a 100 kiloton warhead. And for a bit of context, the Hiroshima bomb was just 16 kilotons. The end result is a submarine capable of showering an entire continent with 200 100 kiloton warheads, which are 6 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. Put simply, just 1 Typhoon class submarine is enough to devastate the United States or Europe single-handedly. However, the Sturgeon missile has since become obsolete, and by 2012 the last Sturgeon was destroyed in favour of the RSM-56 Bulava missile. The Typhoon class submarines were constructed in Severodvinsk at Sevmar shipyard. They were created as a response to the US Navy's Ohio class ballistic missile submarines, carrying on the pattern of the Soviet Union and the United States attempting to outstrip each other in the Cold War arms race. The first Typhoon, TK-208 Dmitry Donskoy, entered service in 1981. The TK-202 entered service in 1983. The TK-12 Sibirsk in 1984. The TK-13 in 1985. The TK-17 Arkhangelsk in 1987. And finally, the TK-20 Severstal entering service in 1989. 7 Typhoons were slated to be constructed. 6 of the 7 were built, with the 7th being broken up on the slipway, possibly as part of the Start 1 treaty. All were stationed with part of the Russian Northern Fleet at Zapадnaya Litsa. The Arkhangelsk and the Severstal were decommissioned in 2006 and 2004 respectively, but are still being held in reserve. The TK-12 and TK-13 have been decommissioned and scrapped. The TK-202 had its nuclear fuel removed with assistance from the United States and converted for reuse or long-term storage. But the Dmitry Donskoy is still in active service and was relaunched in 2002 and is being used to trial the RSM-56 Bulava missiles. But there is a question mark over whether the Dmitry Donskoy has upgraded all of its missile silos. Rumours persist that only 1 or 2 tubes have been upgraded. The Donskoy is undoubtedly still active and going on exercise frequently with the Russian Navy, and it seems that, if required, it could still act as a nuclear deterrent, but it would need to undergo a good deal of renovation. There was an effort to modernise the remaining Typhoons, but this was abandoned in 2012 as it was found that the Russian Navy could construct 2 Borei class ballistic missile submarines for the cost of modernising just 1 Typhoon. Alright, that wraps up the briefing on the Typhoon class of submarines. I hope it didn't prompt you to start building a bunker in your own back garden, but if you did find this to be of some use, please do like and subscribe. Until next time, this is Peter from the Military History and Strategy channel, signing off.